Nou, vandaag heb ik een keer een hele andere gast uit Amerika. Ik kan dit in het Nederlands introduceren, want Leslie Samuel, mijn gast van vandaag, is geboren op Sint Maarten. Hij verstaat dus wat ik nu zeg. Dat vind ik wel erg leuk. Ik heb begrepen, Leslie, I continue in English. You are
Okay.
born on St. Martin, but from your 17th you moved to United States,
Yes.
to,
Moved to Michigan.
to Michigan, and you still lived in Michigan.
I still live in Michigan.
And I discovered you now way back, a couple of years ago in 2011 when
Huh?
I stumbled upon your videos. You called it BioVids in the beginning. I
Yes, I did.
remember.
You remember?
Yeah, and later on you call them interactive biology.
Uh-huh.
That's the whole site, and I was very much impressed with the level of the videos
Okay.
and your great enthusiasm.
Hmm.
Every time you started the video with making biology fun, and it was fun. It is fun,
Oh,
and
great.
that's coupled with the level of professionalism of the videos, that make me very interested in your career and how it went through. You currently work as a assistant professor at Andrews University
That's correct.
in Michigan.
Uh-huh.
And later on we talk about your new plans because you have a switch in career. But you started to make the videos for your students at the university.
Yeah, well,
What made you think about videos?
okay. So I was actually doing a lot on the internet before thinking about the biology website. And I was doing a lot with marketing, and also I was doing some with videos. And I grew a website, and it was getting very successful. And I thought to myself, well, what if I were to take the things that I'm learning and apply it to something that I'm excited about, like biology, and just put it out there and, help people in parts of the world. So I just decided, hey, I'm going to do it. I was teaching at a high school,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to always teach at a university, but I don't have my doctorate. I don't have a PhD. So I figured at that point that, you know what, I'm just going to teach the stuff that I want to teach, but I'll do it online. So I started to make those videos, the BioVids back then, and then later I changed it to Interactive Biology TV.
Yeah.
And I just started to put them out there because I knew that people were looking for that information, and I felt like I could teach it in a unique way so that they can understand it easily, even when we're talking about, the neuron and the cell and the action potentials.
Yep.
Those are typically difficult topics, but if I break them down in specific ways, I thought that it would help people all over the world, and that's exactly what happened. So it's grown from there, and it's something that I love to do.
And you put it into the world, but you
Yeah.
also deliver to your students.
Well, I did it when I started to do it. It wasn't necessarily for the students that I had. It was just the information that I wanted to teach, because it's the stuff that I enjoyed. When I took it in college, when I took physiology in college, I really had a lot of fun with it. So I wanted to talk more about physiology, and I wasn't teaching that at the high school that I was teaching at. So I just put it out there for the world, not necessarily for my students. Now, later on, I started doing more for my students. But for me, it was just I wanted to talk about that information. I wanted to share and teach that information. So I did it.
Okay, and I also saw that the students
Hmm.
gave you something back. I can remember the cranial nerve song, a video,
Yeah.
a video in which two of your students performed
Uh-huh.
a song of how to learn how many
The,
are the seven cranial
the
nerves?
12 cranial nerves. They did a
12,
song.
yeah, yeah,
Remember which one was sensory, which one was motor, and which
yeah,
one was both. And they were just having fun with it. And one day they told me in class, I said, "Oh, can I make a video of it?" And they were excited to do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. when you started to put the videos into your own teaching at the university, did you notice any change in performance of the students?
Well, I didn't fully do like a research project to see how well it, helped the students, but just in talking to the students, I got a lot of feedback saying the videos that you had online, the sections where you had videos online, it was much easier for us to learn it. And that's good feedback, because here's the thing. When they come to class and they listen to me speak, if they don't understand something, they can ask a question, but then I move on. And if they understand it, great. If they don't understand it, well, it's kind of too bad. If they're watching the video on YouTube and I say something and they don't understand it, they can just stop it, rewind it, and then listen to it again, and then listen to it again until they get it. So it really helped them to understand the information in a more easier way. They could do it on their phones. They could do it however they want to do it. Just makes it much more accessible for them.
Yeah, and I noticed you use different tools in your videos.
Yeah.
I saw one performance of you in your kitchen, I think. It was about the threshold on the action hillock.
And so, the accent, yep.
And another time I saw you busy on the tabletops. I think that was about ion channels.
But you've been following very well.
But
I'm a proud teacher now.
But I like it because that's all different kind of tools you don't have in the classroom.
Yeah.
And indeed you can make a good movie about it, a good video, good
Exactly.
explanation, and they can go over it again and again and again.
Exactly.
And what makes you think, oh, this I want to make in my kitchen? How does that process work?
That's a good question. Honestly, it's kind of like okay, I need to explain this concept. How can I explain this concept? And then you just toy around in your minds with different ideas of things that you can talk about. And sometimes you're able to be creative. Other times you just can't think of anything, so you just explain it.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's a formula for figuring out how to do that. It's just if you can come up with a creative idea, great. If not, well, just teach the information. Both of them work. One can be more effective at times, but if you can't think of something, you just do what you can think of.
and then you get feedback and you learn from that and you go on. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a big part of it. So if you do something one time and you start to get a lot of comments and students are like, yeah, I don't know, that just didn't make any sense to me, then okay, next time maybe I shouldn't do this. But if you do something and they start to get excited about it, then that's an indication that that's working, and you can use that to make what you do better and better. Because a lot of people think, I don't know how to make them all fancy and all that stuff. You don't have to know how to do that, because over time you learn. And then the more feedback you get, the better you get. So you can improve. They grow with you.
Okay, that's an interesting point, because how much time do you invest, and did you invest in the past?
That's a great question, because in the past, if I wanted to make a 3-minute video or a 5-minute video, it could take me hours to record that video. Just because, you make mistakes, and then let's do that part again. And then you got to edit here and edit there. And over the years, now if I have a 3-minute video to record, it's going to take me about 3 to 4 minutes. And then I just put it all together. But that's because I've done it so many times that it's just much easier. You get used to, how do I position my mic? You get used to how do I draw on my screen if you're drawing on the screen, and you get comfortable with the mistakes that you make, so that, at least for me, it becomes more of a conversation. And we're talking right now, and in our conversations, I'm making some mistakes. But nobody's paying attention to that. Nobody cares about that. I'm getting the information out there, so I don't necessarily need to edit all of that information out. if I make a mistake, I was like, oh wait, no, that's a mistake. You do it this way instead, and da 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 and da da da. And I'm comfortable with that because people see that you are a real person that makes real mistakes, and that's just a part of life. And they tend to respond very well to that.
If the whole line, the line of thought is good,
Exactly.
you filter out the rest. It's like being in a crowded room.
Exactly.
You listen to the conversation you want to hear. The rest is away.
That's a great way to put it. I'm going to use that example when I'm explaining this in the future.
It's all about brains.
There you go.
Attention and brains.
Action potentials. They're firing right now. This is working.
You're right now at your desk where you make the productions.
Yes, I am.
Okay, and I see a big microphone.
Yes, this is my nice fancy microphone that I invested in. I figured if I'm going to be doing this, when I started, I didn't have this microphone. I just had a normal mic. You plug it into USB and you speak. Now I have this mic. It's going to a mixer, and I have all kinds of stuff here. But quite frankly, for the people that are watching it, it doesn't make a difference. I mean, once you reach a certain level in quality, and you can get a $30 microphone. And once you reach a level in quality, that's all that matters. That's what they care about. They want to know that the content is what is good content, and it's helping them to understand what they're trying to learn. That's what it's about.
Yeah. And besides the microphone, I also saw videos when you annotate on the screen. Do you use a tablet or?
Yeah, so I'm using a tablet. I have a very old tablet. But this is my tablet. It's called a Wacom, a bamboo Wacom tablet. And then there's a pen that you can write on it. So that's what I use for that. And let's see, anything else I use? Sometimes if I'm recording a video where I'm on the video, I would use my camera. And this is the camera that I use. It's a Canon 60D, which is a DSLR camera. So sometimes I use this, but quite frankly, I hardly ever use this for these kinds of videos because it's more complicated. You got to do more editing, you got to import and so on. And I figure, depending on what I'm doing, for most of it, you don't need to see me necessarily. And if you need to see me, like I just made the last, not this last video, but the video before, I just use my webcam and you can see my screen and you can see me. It works. You just play around with different things and you see what works for you.
Okay. And what kind of recording software do you use?
For my video, I'm on a Mac, so I use ScreenFlow.
ScreenFlow, yes, I know that. Yeah.
There's ScreenFlow, there's Camtasia if you're on a PC. Yeah. And I make up a presentation sometimes, and I go through my slides, and I'm recording my screen. You can hear my voice because I'm recording that along with the slides. And I'm drawing on the screen, and it works together very well.
Okay. 1 minute back to the Wacom. I tried them also, and I know some teachers who tried them. And I find it, and they find it very hard to coordinate the movement of the hand and the vision you have on the screen because they are not connected well.
That's because it's difficult.
Yes.
And literally, like, if you look at some of my writings, some of it you can't even understand because it's difficult to get used to. But the more you get used to it, the better. Now, they have some more expensive ones where you can write on the screen.
Yeah, the Cintiq. Oh, man.
The Cintiqs.
Yes.
And if you want to buy me one, I will take it very gladly. But I can't afford it right now. But yeah, there are those, and I tested one out because I'm also making some videos. I don't know if you know Khan Academy.
Yes. I was going to ask you about it because you are.
It was for them.
Yeah.
And when I went to San Diego to go through their training, they had one of those, and I would test it out, and so it's really nice.
Okay, so now you're also connected to the Khan Academy. You were invited by them.
Yeah, they did this contest because they're creating videos for the nursing board exam here in the US. It's called the NCLEX exam. and they were looking for people to create videos. So they did a contest, and they invited me to take part in the contest. And then as I was one of the people that were selected, so they brought me out to Khan Academy, and they put us through some training and so on. And now there are a few people that they selected, and I'm one of the people that they selected to make some videos for them.
Great, great. It's a great organization. They
Amazing.
They put so much energy into the video education video.
Yeah, and they're gonna do so much more in the future. I mean, they're doing medical school stuff. They're doing nursing. They're doing high school. They're doing everything, and the plans that they have are really amazing. I mean, it's really their mission is to make a world-class education available for anyone, anywhere, and that's exactly what they're doing. So it's exciting to be a part of that.
I'm thinking for years that since the Khan Academy started, I'm thinking that the educational institutions are going to crumble.
Well, their goal is not to replace the educational institution as much as it is to enhance the learning of the students that are attending these institutions. Because a lot of them, they attend these institutions, but they have a really hard time understanding what in the world is going on.
Yeah.
Khan Academy comes in and they fill in that gap so that you can do better in those institutions. You still need them because you still need your diploma and your certificates and so on, but Khan is helping you to accomplish that.
Yeah, but I think it's not anymore a one-stop, how do you call it? Institute.
Yeah.
The future will be more, verspreid. Help me.
Spread out.
Yeah, spread out.
You can use some Dutch. I'll follow you.
It's late for me. It's still early for you.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, because you see the same movement now with the MOOCs. Harvard, Yale, they make MOOCs. On the other side of the United States, they have to use them at the universities. So it's not anymore a part of an institution. It's on its own in a way.
Yeah.
All those.
Yeah. There are a number of schools are grabbing hold of technology and saying, how can we use this to enhance what's happening in the classroom, or how can we use this to expand our reach and reach people that are in different countries and so on. It really I think it's a tool that it can be taken advantage of and used kind of as a crutch where a teacher might say, I'm just going to use technology and the technology is going to do all the teaching, but that's not very effective. What is more effective is saying, how can we use technology to complement what we're doing, not to replace it, because you don't want to replace that one-on-one, that hands-on. You can't replace that. Nope. But you can enhance it. And technology is making it so that you can do that affordably. You can do it for free. So we might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think you're very right on that point.
Yeah.
It's making education better.
Exactly.
But don't think it's going to be easy and a quick fix.
Exactly.
The hours you have put in to making the videos are proof of that. It's hard work.
It is a lot of hard work, and a lot of people start to do it, but they never continue because, it takes a lot of work to keep making these videos, to get people to check out the videos, to establish the connections, to open up opportunities and get your stuff out there. It really does take a lot.
Yeah, but it makes education better.
It does. And if that's what your mission is, then hey, why not?
Yeah. And I was thinking, we were talking about the Khan Academy and the role and the MOOCs. And now you are on the brink of leaving an institution and becoming one of those extra institutional educational
yes, because I'm one of those crazy people. Yeah. A part of it has to do with, I was doing I was teaching at the university, which is a full-time job and it takes a lot. But I was also working on a PhD, and I was doing what I'm doing online, and I'm doing multiple things online. I have no time, and that's not healthy. My family has been dealing with some health issues at home, so I want to have the ability to travel and to spend some months out of the country if I need to, and also some time to spend with my family. So I figure, there's never going to be a perfect time. I'm just gonna when I finish this school year, which is the end of next month, I'm gonna go out and continue to build what I've been building online. It's reaching so many people, it's helping so many people, and I believe I can do something huge with it. So
Yep.
I'm taking that leap of faith.
That's a leap of faith, yes.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think you have a very good starting base. I saw
Yeah.
the more than 10,000 likes
Yeah.
on Facebook.
We get about 60,000 people on the site a month.
60,000.
60,000. That is
Man.
significant. On a bad month, we'd get maybe 40,000. So it, as you mentioned, it's a good, strong base to build on,
Yeah.
and I intend on building on it.
And maybe also in the United States, it's maybe growing in the Netherlands, but there's also a culture of home schooling.
Oh
And
yes,
I think you can get into that niche.
yes, and I've actually I'm good friends with a number of people that have homeschooling websites because I spoke at a conference once where there were a lot of homeschool bloggers, for example, and yeah, that is a direction or something that I do want to explore, and I'm definitely going to be exploring that in the future.
Okay. Now you deliver more on topics, yeah, and anatomy,
Uh-huh.
physiology. Man, what's
Yeah, physiology. Yeah.
physiology? Yeah, thank you very much. And what I call basic biology,
Uh-huh. General biology.
general biology. I am a biology teacher too, so we can shake hands.
Yeah. Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
But is your aim to go on that road
My
further
my
on,
aim,
or to deliver more another curriculum so that you can become um, a nurse or
I don't see myself developing an official curriculum as of right now. I see myself just branching out into the different areas of biology and just providing the content. Um,
hmm.
I leave that up to the universities and the institutions to come up with their curriculum. I know that the content that I'm creating, that's going to help whatever they're doing. It's going to enhance what they're doing. But I'm not trying to certify people. I'm not trying to do any of that stuff as of right now. I don't know exactly where it's going to lead. And different opportunities have been presenting themselves. So, as it comes, I'm just going to kind of walk along and see how things go and modify as I learn. And we see where it ends up.
Okay. I was thinking about another thing. In the United States, it's more common to go to summer school
Yes.
to do to learn outside of your normal school.
Uh-huh.
In the Netherlands, you have 6 weeks vacation,
Uh-huh.
and when it's the teaching is done, the teaching is done.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that will change in the future,
Uh-huh.
and you are leading the path in that way in the United States, and that's also an opportunity. People
Yeah.
are not bound to the school and
Yeah.
think when school finishes, I'm finished with learning.
Yeah, there are so many different opportunities that I believe I can take advantage of. Whether it's summer school, whether it's homeschooling, whether it's partnering with teachers and having them, implementing certain things in their curriculum, whether it's reaching out to universities, reaching out to professors, reaching out to whatever the case might be. There's so many different ways that it can go. Interactive biology is one of the things I do online, so it's not all of my focus, but it is something that I do want to expand. And I could see myself even bringing on other teachers to create videos. Somebody might create videos for microbiology because I don't know anything about microbiology. Somebody else might do ecology and so on. So I want to continue to grow that and expand it. And as I do that, I mean, there's so many ways that it can be used.
Yeah, I've, I was just thinking you can read my mind, because I was thinking about you can teach the students, but you also have a lot of experience to teach the teachers.
Exactly. That's another area
Yeah.
that I was in a conversation with Steve Spangler, who has a very popular channel on YouTube that's called Spangler Science, and he does all kinds of
Mm.
experiments. And I met him in I think it was San Diego, and we were talking about that because there's a lot there that you can do. You know, teaching teachers how to teach biology specifically. There's so many things, so many different ways that you can kind of grow this whole interactive biology concept.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be exciting times for you, I think.
Oh yeah, it's going to be challenging and it's going to
Yeah.
be exciting at the same time.
And just this afternoon, I was thinking it would be nice to have you. I don't have the budget to get you to the Netherlands, so I'm sorry. But as you can see, it's so much easier these days to communicate via
Oh yeah,
the internet.
definitely. And
So,
you mentioned that because and it's interesting because one of the things that I do want to do is go to different universities across the United States or even across the world and do presentations on how do you use technology effectively. I just did one at my university a few weeks ago on how do you use social media in the job search. There's so many things that you can do where that's concerned, and I don't think a lot of people are. I think students are going to college and they're leaving, and they're not getting exposed to this type of information.
yeah,
So that's something that I'm passionate about. Students, because when I was a student, I wish someone came to me and told me that I could start something like interactive biology.
yeah,
Because then I would have started that years ago and it would have been much bigger today than
yeah,
it is right now. Who knows? It could have been hundreds of thousands or even millions of people using the site.
yeah,
So that is definitely something that I'm passionate about doing too.
yeah. Showing how new technology can enhance your career.
Exactly.
I in my some of my lessons, I let my students blog,
Oh, nice.
but they perceive it as just yeah, gossip online.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm trying to show them that a good weblog, can enhance your career.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can present yourself. You can. This is me.
Yeah. And
Hire me.
I'm a perfect example of that because, like I said, I don't have a PhD, but now I'm a university professor, and I'm a university professor because they saw my blog,
Yeah,
um, and that impressed them, and that allowed me to go to the top as opposed to many of the other applicants that had PhDs. They didn't get the job, but I did because of my blog,
I don't.
and
Yeah,
that's something that people don't realize. If you
it's not anymore the paper you get
no,
at the end
that's
of
that's
the term. It's what you do, what you
exactly. And
show.
if you
Yeah,
demonstrate that,
yeah,
it can open up so many doors. And that's something that students need to start realizing. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing that message.
yeah. Okay. I see. We round off the interview now. I thank you very much, Leslie.
Hey,
It
thank
was
you.
great talking to you. Um, I, wa- I had no doubt. I saw your inspirational videos. I think will be a great interview.
Well,
With
thank you very
great
much.
enthusiasm.
Uh-huh.
Difficult words.